It's imperative that we come to in trying to show the world Jesus. This is not something that can be legislated. It's not something that can be mandated. We have to display his fruit and be his light in the earth in order to show the character of him. And we do that by allowing people to pluck our fruit and not our nerves. I've heard it that way as well, right? Our fruit of the Spirit. You know, it's interesting that the church, Victory Life Church, is a church that we have been in. My husband was raised there. We have been there. I have been there for the last 12 years, as long as we've been married. And my husband was raised there. He was there when he was 4 with his mother. He was 9, I believe. They became members and official members. And up until this past week, that's where my husband has been. Not to say that he hasn't experienced other ministries and things of that nature, but this is who made him. And the amount of growth that I have experienced in my faith walk, in understanding faith, has been immeasurable. I give thanks. I give thanks for Victory Life Church. I give thanks for Phil and Barbara Privet and every person that every member of my family there, of my life there. When I was on the praise team there, I'm trying to determine which direction I want to go to tell this. So I was on the praise team there where my husband played the drums, and we both served in that capacity. And I, if anyone knows me, am a very passionate and compassionate and empathetic individual. I feel deeply. And all my life have been a crybaby. Have been, my daddy and my brother used to tease me and wear me out. And everyone knows that at the drop of the dime, I will cry, or whatever emotion I'm feeling. The thing was out. There's no gray area with me. As it's generally on or off. And during praise and worship was no different. So there would be times that I would see someone praying from the platform, and I would lament for them. I would be in tears and could barely make it through songs if the lyrics hit not just a chord in my own life and things that I may have gone through, or maybe worshiping God or giving thanks, praising God for delivering me from. But I would see other people throughout the congregation, and it would overwhelm me. And so one day I was called into the office at church. Pastor called me in, and I can't recall if I was working there still or not, because I worked there for about a year and a half or so. But in either case, I was called into the office, and Pastor said, sweetheart, he was like, you're gonna have to pull yourself together. I can't have my worship leader falling apart during every service, right? Like, I need you to hold it together if you're leading worship and things. And I immediately took offense, like internally. I'm thinking, this is how God made me. This is how, I've come to embrace the fact that I am this way, right? That I'm not just dramatic, that no, I have a big heart. This is what it means to have a big heart, or a heart that is big for, hey, sirs, stand by. So, right quick, my initial response was an offense, like it hit me. And I just remember thinking, like, how dare he? This is who God made me. And I sat there and I listened to what he had to say. And I don't recall it, but I remember he was just basically like, this is what I need. And so when I left out of there, I remember breathing, and the Lord I was just breathing, trying to maintain my frustration or probably anger at that point, and left out, thanked my pastors, and left. And the Lord said, and I was like, how dare he, when I finally got a chance to be alone. And the Lord was like, no, he's right. He's right. There is a way, and he showed me, and he was like, there's a way to respond to me. And not because, again, this wasn't only during praise and worship that I would be overwhelmed with emotion. Get it, brother? Lord, keep him safe. During praise and worship, I remember doing live videos. Even I would fall apart if something overwhelmed my heart. And so I had gotten to a point where I'm getting over not being comfortable doing videos and things, because there's a whole lot attached to it. What God has shown me since then, and in learning even from the platform on church to the conversations that I have, and not even falling to pieces in tears even, right? I still love a good cry. I appreciate it. I really do. But maturing in a way that I don't even feel the hit when something rubs me wrong, because I would physically feel a hit. That's the only way I could, through my body, when am I getting this right? Let me think. Yeah. Learning to control your emotions, learning to have the emotional wherewithal and fortitude to not take things personally, right? So that's dealing with pride there, and in all the ways that I have grown in the last 4 years, it has been because of that day that the Lord used my pastor to offend me for the last time. Not him, but in the way that I am offended by things. It shifted that day. God worked it out so that he matured me in a way through that situation that over the last 4 years, I have learned to be able to practice self-control, and then give the rest of the fruit of the Spirit, and then walk it out as closely as possible. But yeah, so I give thanks. I give thanks for the ways I've learned in my time with white evangelicalism. It's been quite a journey, and that is a whole other part of the conversation. But this is where I am. Flies, do not hoard the fruit of the Spirit. Do not hoard the fruit of the Spirit, and come to the fruit of the Spirit is the Spirit of Christ. It is what we want to show and display in the earth. We want to bring people to Christ in a way that will open their heart to receive him fully. We don't want to make Christ this legalistic, in Christianity, this legalistic foolishness, rhetoric that keeps people from showing up as their full selves, and letting God mold them in a way that can only be done through a relationship with Christ. Saints, if that's what you believe, then get the people to Christ. Let them do the hard work. Let him do the hard work, because that's what he's doing in me. That's exactly what, and that is what he should be doing to each of us on any number of levels. But if we're trying to make Christ this legalistic mantra, this legalistic, the kingdom of God is at hand. The kingdom of God is at hand. And there's no way that we can bring forth the kingdom of God if fear, hypocrisy, and hatred are what's being displayed and lived out. No. None of that is Christ. None of it is. And to call it light when it is indeed darkness.